Welcome back to our channel, Soap Fans. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the latest, most explosive drama unfolding in Los Angeles. The stakes have never been higher, and we are here to break down every shocking twist. Let's get straight into the action. The collision was absolutely inevitable. Two fashion empires, two legacy families, and decades of buried resentments have finally detonated into a catastrophic war. The battle lines are no longer just drawn in the sand. They are etched in blood, betrayal, and shattered loyalties. Right now, the epicenter of this earthquake is Forrester Creations, where an unholy, unprecedented alliance is forming. Steffy Forrester Finnegan and Brooke Logan Forrester, two fiercely proud women who have spent their entire lives at each other's throats, have just found a common enemy: the Spencer family. In a shocking twist of fate, Steffy and Brooke are completely in sync. They are standing shoulder to shoulder, pointing their manicured fingers directly at the Spencers, blaming them entirely for the major, catastrophic problems currently ripping Forrester Creations apart at the seams. This is a monumental shift in the Los Angeles power dynamic. Hell has officially frozen over, and the fallout is going to be absolutely spectacular. Brooke Logan has always operated under the grand assumption that her family name is her exclusive, untouchable property. She believed that the Logan moniker was her crown jewel, a title that she alone controlled and weaponized. But that illusion has just been violently shattered. The corporate reality is far more brutal. Yes, Brooke had the name trademarked in years past, holding it hostage from anyone who dared to step out of line. But in a jaw-dropping boardroom revelation, Carter Walton has just dropped a legal bomb. The brilliant Forrester COO confirmed the unthinkable. The company made a massive, unforgivable administrative mistake. They let the trademark lapse. The Logan name is no longer Brooke's exclusive domain. It is out in the wild, free for the taking, and the Spencers have swooped in with predatory precision. Because of this monumental legal blunder, the name Logan has been completely hijacked. It is no longer just a shared family name belonging to Brooke and Donna Logan Forrester. It has been transformed into the ultimate weapon. Logan is now the official moniker for the highly anticipated startup fashion house operating directly under the massive, well-funded umbrella of Spencer Publications. Katie Logan Spencer and Bill Spencer have seized the lapsed trademark, weaponizing Brooke's own maiden name against her. The irony is as thick as the tension in the Forrester boardroom. Brooke is watching her legacy be rebranded by the very people she is currently warring against, and she is absolutely powerless to stop it legally. The Spencers hold all the cards, and they are playing them with ruthless, unapologetic glee. Speaking of the Spencer empire, it might be time for Bill Spencer to seriously consider a massive brand update. Let's be honest for a second. The publications part of his business name feels like a dusty relic from a bygone era. It immediately suggests stacks of printed paper materials, ink-stained fingers, and roaring printing presses. While print media certainly still exists and will likely continue in some capacity, a media mogul of Bill's terrifying stature needs a title with a bit more modern bite. A far better, sleeker name would simply be Spencer, or perhaps the corporate-sounding Spencer Incorporated. Knowing the sheer, unadulterated size of Dollar Bill's ego, Dollar Bill Enterprises probably wouldn't be completely off the table. It is ridiculously over the top, but it is exactly the kind of flashy, arrogant moniker that Diamant's character wouldn't initially dismiss. You could just picture him sitting behind his massive desk, smirking at the gold lettering. Fortunately, Katie would undoubtedly be there to talk him down from that hilariously narcissistic ledge, saving him from becoming a walking punchline in the Financial Times. In a storyline this dark and serious, a little corporate rebranding humor is a much-needed breath of fresh air. But the laughter stops there, because the implications of this corporate war are tearing families apart in the most brutal, irreversible ways imaginable. The tension has reached a boiling point, resulting in multiple devastating splits. The most heartbreaking casualty of this war is the once unbreakable bond between the Logan sisters. Brooke has officially reached her breaking point. In a scene dripping with venom and unspeakable betrayal, Brooke has drawn a permanent line in the sand. She has looked her sister Katie dead in the eye and delivered the ultimate, soul-crushing blow. Brooke told Katie that she is no longer a part of the Logan family. The disowning was absolute, cold, and calculated. Brooke banished Katie from her life, explicitly stating that she is no longer welcome in her home. The sisterhood is dead, sacrificed on the altar of corporate loyalty and bruised egos. The sheer brutality of Brooke's declaration cannot be overstated. This is not just a sibling squabble. This is a permanent excommunication. Katie, who has always fought for her place in the family, is now entirely isolated from her sisters. Brooke's ruthless decision to cut Katie out of the Logan family tree is a testament to just how toxic this fashion war has become. The emotional carnage is piling up, and the collateral damage is catastrophic. Katie is now standing alone, armed only with her new fashion house and the backing of the Spencer empire. The lines of communication have been severed, replaced by legal threats and bitter resentments. Brooke has chosen Forrester Creations over her own flesh and blood, a decision that will undoubtedly haunt her. But for now, the matriarch is standing firm in her vindictive rage. While Brooke wages war on Katie, Steffi Forrester Finnegan is fighting a deeply personal, psychological battle of her own. Steffi is a woman who simply does not lose. She is a born winner, a fierce competitor who dominates the boardroom and commands respect. She rarely ever faces defeat, except for one glaring, agonizing exception. She lost Liam Spencer to Hope Logan Spencer a handful of years ago. That loss is a festering wound that refuses to heal. As devoted viewers will vividly recall, Steffi wore herself out emotionally fighting for that relationship. The love triangle was a grueling, exhausting marathon of tears, betrayals, and shattered hearts. Steffi fought with everything she had, but the emotional toll was simply too massive. She finally reached a breaking point, a plot point that changed the trajectory of all their lives forever. In a moment of sheer exhaustion and heartbreaking clarity, Jacqueline McInnes Wood's character did the unthinkable. Steffi looked to Hope and told her to go back to Liam. She surrendered. Steffi admitted, through gritted teeth and unspeakable pain, that Liam loved Hope more. It was a profound, devastating concession. And the hardest part for Steffi to swallow? She was absolutely right. Even though that specific iteration of the couple eventually split, the underlying truth remained. Liam's heart always gravitated back to Hope. The magnetic pull between them was an undeniable force of nature that Steffi could not defeat, no matter how hard she tried. That surrender is a dark stain on Steffi's otherwise flawless record of victories, a constant reminder of the one prize she could not secure. That bitter history brings us to the present day, where Hope and Liam's recent remarriage has become a massive, unavoidable trigger for Steffi. This remarriage was not just a simple ceremony. It was a profound, undeniable statement. It reinforced to the entire world that Hope and Liam are true soulmates. While it is an established fact that Liam loved Steffi deeply in the past, and they share a beautiful daughter together, his more enduring, unbreakable love belongs to Hope. He shares a daughter with Hope as well, but the emotional foundation of their relationship has proven to be indestructible. This undeniable reality appears to irk Steffi in the very core of her soul. The sight of Hope and Liam's enduring happiness is a constant, irritating thorn in Steffi's side, a visual representation of her one ultimate defeat. At the very least, Hope's mere presence at Forrester Creations is a daily, grating irritation for Steffi. Every time Hope walks into the boardroom, Steffi is reminded of the soulmate dynamic that she can never replicate with Liam. This deep-seated, simmering resentment directly played into Annika Noel's character being ruthlessly sidelined at the family company. Steffi weaponized her executive power, using her co-CEO status to marginalize Hope for a lengthy, agonizing period of time. Hope's line was paused, her ideas were dismissed, and her influence was systematically erased. Steffi made sure that Hope felt exactly how unwelcome she truly was. This calculated, professional suffocation was the direct catalyst that led to Hope's shocking, game-changing decision to jump ship and defect to Logan. The power dynamics at Forrester Creations have always been glaringly unequal, making it far easier to be in the spot that Brooke or Steffi occupies than it was for Katie and Hope. Brooke and Steffi are essentially royalty within those walls. Brooke enjoys Ridge Forrester's enduring, unwavering adoration, coupled with Eric Forrester's deep, historical admiration. She is protected by an invisible shield of legacy and love. Steffi, on the other hand, was literally named after the co-founder of the company, her formidable grandmother Stephanie. Eric handpicked Steffi to share absolute power with her father. Steffi is the undeniable, obvious apple of Ridge's eye. She operates with total impunity, backed by the full weight of the Forrester name and the unshakable loyalty of the men who run the empire. In stark, depressing contrast, Hope had absolutely no hammer at Forrester Creations. She was completely devoid of leverage. Despite her past successes, her current status was incredibly fragile. Her remarriage to Liam Spencer made her an immediate target, officially making her part of the loathed Spencer contingent in the eyes of the Forrester elite. She was viewed not as a valuable asset, but as an outsider, a Spencer spy sleeping with the enemy. Every move she made was scrutinized. Every request was denied. She was suffocating under the weight of Steffi's disdain and Ridge's blatant favoritism. Hope realized with crystal clarity that she would never, ever be given a fair shot as long as she remained trapped in a building controlled by a woman who despises her enduring love story with Liam. But the narrative has flipped violently. At Logan, absolutely none of the oppressive Forrester rules apply. Hope has stepped out of the shadows and into the blinding spotlight of her own making. She is no longer the sidelined, marginalized employee begging for scraps of funding. She is the marquee name, the creative force, the undisputed star of a well-funded, ambitious fashion house. This is exactly why Hope is not looking back. She has tasted true power, true creative freedom, and the intoxicating thrill of being genuinely valued. The Spencer backing gives her the financial muscle to execute her wildest visions, completely free from Steffi's suffocating micromanagement. Hope has found her hammer, and she is ready to start swinging. The corporate war is officially raging, and Hope is standing on the front lines, armed and dangerous. While Hope can certainly still be riled by Steffi's venomous attacks, she absolutely will not allow that derision to shift her focus. Steffi can hurl insults, issue threats, and attempt to sabotage her at every turn. But Hope's armor is now impenetrable. She is laser-focused on the future, pouring every ounce of her passion and trauma into her new brand. Hope by Logan is not just a fashion line. It is a declaration of independence. It is a massive, glittering middle finger to the Forrester establishment that tried to bury her. The battle lines are drawn. The collections are launching, and the fashion world is about to witness the most explosive, high-stakes showdown in Los Angeles history. The impending showdown between Steffi and Hope is going to be nothing short of cinematic. We're talking about a collision of two titans who refuse to back down. Steffi is armed with the legacy of Forrester Creations, the fierce protection of her father, and a burning desire to crush the Spencer threat once and for all. Hope is armed with the limitless resources of Dollar Bill Spencer, the strategic brilliance of Katie Logan, and a desperate, fiery need to prove that she is more than just a sidelined Forrester employee. Every runway show, every press release, and every stolen design will be a calculated strike in this escalating war. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife, and the collateral damage is going to be absolutely devastating. Who will emerge victorious when the dust finally settles? Will Forrester Creations maintain its iron grip on the fashion industry? Or will Logan rise from the ashes to claim the ultimate crown? One thing is absolutely certain. Los Angeles will never, ever be the same again. Will Hope's new empire crush Forrester? Or will Steffi plot a lethal revenge? Next, the glittering empire of Forrester Creations is not just cracking. It is actively detonating from the inside out. The shrapnel is about to take down the most powerful men in Los Angeles, leaving a trail of shattered egos and broken legacies. This is no longer a polite corporate rivalry. This is an inevitable, cataclysmic collision of arrogance, fate, and high-stakes consequences. The patriarch has fallen, the heirs are throwing punches, and the entire fashion world is watching the Forrester dynasty burn to the absolute ground. All signs point to Forrester Creations going downhill at a terrifying breakneck speed. The rot always starts at the head, and the leadership at the top of this fashion house is proving to be fundamentally toxic. Viewers are completely disgusted with what they are seeing from Eric Forrester and his son, Ridge Forrester. These two men have spent decades perched on their high horses, dictating the rules of the fashion industry, but their current behavior is nothing short of a spectacular, unhinged meltdown. They're losing their grip on reality, and the audience is not holding back their absolute outrage. Let's talk about the patriarch's jaw-dropping hypocrisy. Eric Forrester had absolutely no problem making the switch to Logan when his ego was bruised. When Ridge unceremoniously shoved him out of the lead designer chair, Eric ran straight to Katie Logan. He gladly took her money. He gladly accepted her platform, and he willingly signed a legally binding contract stating that his designs were the exclusive property of Logan. But the second the wind changed, Eric turned his back on Katie in the most brutal, public way imaginable. During a live, highly publicized couture launch interview, Eric completely lost his composure. He stared directly into the cameras and branded Katie Logan an evil woman and a thief. He threw a massive, unmitigated temper tantrum for the entire world to see. The backlash has been swift, merciless, and entirely justified. Fans are dragging Eric through the mud on social media, and they are not missing a single beat. One fiery viewer commented, "Eric has turned into such a whiny, pathetic man. How dare he call Katie evil? She did nothing wrong." Eric signed a contract stating that his designs were property of Logan. He's so annoying. And Hope is finally getting the respect and attention she deserves. The audience is absolutely right. Katie played by the rules. She offered Eric a lifeline. Eric is the one rewriting history to paint himself as a victim, and nobody is buying his pathetic, whining narrative anymore. Hope Logan is thriving at Logan, finally free from the toxic, suffocating environment of Forrester Creations, while Eric is busy throwing his legacy away on live television. But the disastrous live stream was only the beginning of Eric's catastrophic week. The drama violently spilled over into the neon-lit chaos of the bikini bar, resulting in a physical altercation that left the patriarch flat on the floor. Let us set the record straight. Eric Forrester is entirely to blame for getting punched in the face. While Spencer and RJ Forrester were already locked in a heated, testosterone-fueled standoff over Electra Forrester. The tension was explosive. Fists were ready to fly. And what did Eric do? Instead of acting like a seasoned patriarch and de-escalating the situation, he marched right into the middle of a war zone that had absolutely nothing to do with him. Eric aggressively inserted himself between two furious, adrenaline-fueled young men. He barked orders at will. He provoked the situation. He fanned the flames of a fire that was already burning out of control. If Eric had simply stayed out of the way, if he had never gotten in the middle of things, he would never have caught that stray fist. Will pulled back to hit RJ, and because Eric refused to stay in his lane, the punch connected squarely with Eric's jaw. The sickening thud echoed through the bar as the great Eric Forrester dropped to the floor. Fans are pointing out the undeniable truth. Eric started that fight by wedging himself into it. He engineered his own physical destruction through sheer, unadulterated arrogance. The internet is absolutely roasting Eric for his behavior, and longtime viewers are bringing up the ghosts of the past to prove their point. Eric is just proving to be the asshole he always was, another fierce critic wrote online. In the past, Stephanie cleaned up so many of the old bastard's messes. This is a devastatingly accurate read of Forrester history. For decades, Stephanie Forrester was the iron-willed matriarch who swept Eric's mistakes, his scandals, and his impulsive decisions under the expensive Forrester rugs. Without Stephanie there to manage his PR and clean up his disastrous messes, Eric is being exposed for exactly who he is, an entitled, reckless man who refuses to take accountability for his own chaotic actions. And the absolute worst part of Eric's downward spiral? The horrific way he is treating his beautiful, loyal wife, Donna Logan. Donna is caught in the crossfire of this brutal fashion war, forced to watch her husband publicly annihilate her own sister. Eric is treating Donna like absolute crap, dismissing her feelings and demanding blind loyalty while he wages a vindictive war against her family. The fans are sick to their stomachs watching Donna endure this emotional abuse. She deserves so much better than being the collateral damage in Eric's unhinged vendetta against House of Logan. This leads to the most explosive, scandalous prediction currently setting the soap opera rumor mill on fire. Fans are actively begging for Donna to take a stand, pack her bags, and seek the ultimate, jaw-dropping revenge. The same critic demanded, "I really want Donna to have an affair with Wyatt and leave the evil old goat. Or bring a new man on for Donna." Imagine the absolute shockwaves this would send through Los Angeles. Wyatt Spencer is back in town, flashing that million-dollar smile, exuding charm, and working directly for the Spencer empire. What if a neglected, heartbroken Donna finds comfort in the arms of a handsome, vibrant Spencer? An affair between Donna and Wyatt would be the ultimate betrayal, a cataclysmic scandal that would shatter Eric's fragile ego into a million irreparable pieces. It is the exact kind of explosive twist that would bring the Forrester patriarch to his absolute knees. While Eric is busy destroying his own marriage and reputation, Ridge Forrester is proving that the apple does not fall far from the toxic tree. Ridge has spent weeks lecturing everyone about boundaries, demanding that Will Spencer be arrested for his violent outbursts. Yet what did Ridge do? He marched directly into Bill Spencer's office and delivered a brutal, unprovoked sucker punch to Bill's face over a simple, sarcastic comment. The hypocrisy is staggering, blinding, and completely infuriating. Ridge solves his problems with his fists while demanding that the rest of the world bow to his moral authority. The leadership at Forrester Creations is a complete and utter joke, run by two men who believe they are entirely above the law. This blatant double standard has not gone unnoticed by the audience. One incredibly astute commenter summed up the entire Forrester dynamic perfectly. Yeah, the Forresters are there to remind us of our current times, where the rich and powerful can live in their la-la land. This is the absolute core of the issue. Eric and Ridge operate in a delusional bubble of wealth, privilege, and unchecked power. They truly believe they can sign contracts and break them, throw punches and avoid arrests, publicly slander their rivals, and still come out on top. They are living in a fantasy world, completely disconnected from reality, assuming that the Forrester name alone will shield them from the catastrophic consequences of their own actions. But reality is finally crashing down on their glittering empire. Katie Logan and Bill Spencer are not backing down. They are taking Eric's unhinged live stream rant and turning it into a massive, viral marketing campaign. Public sentiment is entirely on Katie's side. The world loves an underdog, and Eric's vicious attack has firmly positioned Katie and Hope as the triumphant heroes of this fashion war. House of Logan is thriving, pulling in massive free publicity, securing top-tier talent, and preparing to launch a collection that will completely obliterate Forrester's market share. Forrester Creations is standing on the precipice of total financial ruin. Eric's new couture line is the most expensive collection the company has ever produced, yet the designs are uninspired, monochromatic, and desperately lacking the innovative spark that Hope Logan brings to the table. With the public actively mocking Eric through viral internet memes, the sales projections for Forrester are looking absolutely dismal. Carter Walton has already warned the family about the steep costs and the toxic corporate culture rumors circulating in the press. If this launch fails, the financial devastation will be unprecedented. The ultimate question burning through the minds of every single viewer is this: will Forrester Creations actually survive this unmitigated disaster? With Eric alienating his wife, starting physical brawls in bars, and destroying the company's public image, the foundation of the fashion house is crumbling. Ridge is too busy throwing punches and plotting petty revenge to actually steer the ship. The new competition next door is not just surviving. They are dominating. Katie Logan is proving to be a ruthless, brilliant CEO, and Hope is finally shining in an environment that respects her immense talent. The days of the Forresters living in their untouchable La La Land are rapidly coming to a violent, spectacular end. The karma they have been dodging for decades is finally catching up to them, and the fallout will be nothing short of legendary. The empire is falling. The patriarch is unraveling, and the Spencers are waiting in the wings to claim the ultimate victory. Watch this space, because the war has only just begun, and the casualties are going to be absolutely devastating. Will Forrester Creations survive this toxic collapse, or is House of Logan the new king? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below and subscribe for more.